Okay, so let's continue discussing the our topic. Okay, so pledge to the flag or also known as panunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas. Okay, so it was stated section 25 of the Republic Act 8491 that the following shall be the pledge of allegiance to the Philippine flag. So that is the panunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas. Okay? So we have here, so as recited, ako ay Pilipino, buong katapatan nanunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas at sa bansang kanyang sinasagisag na may dangal, katarungan at kalayaan na pinakikilos ng sambayanang makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan at makabansa. So that is the pledge of allegiance to the Philippine flag. So it is very crucial for us Filipinos that we took the pledge of allegiance to our flags, okay? To be remain loyal to our identity and to our Philippine flag. Okay? Next will be the flag days, okay? So just take note that during the flag days, it will be on the period of May 28 to June 12. So it will be 2 weeks, 2 weeks before 2 weeks before the celebration of the Independence Day. Okay? So galagay na tayo, makikita na ninyo those places, those residential areas that display the national flag during May 28 to June 12. Okay? So on the display of the other places other than those specified by law na kinakailangan meron na required sila, no, after June 12 po ay dapat wala na pong flag na makikita. So sino-sino lang ba yung mag-o-observe po noon? So all offices, agencies and instrumentalities of the government, business establishments, institutions of learning, and private homes are enjoined to display the flag. So after the celebration of the flag days or the flag week, kailangan din pong tanggalin na yung mga hindi naman kinakailangan madisplayhan nung Philippine flag po natin. Okay? Next will be the specification. So tulad ng sinabi ko sa inyo that the Philippine flag has its own specification. Hindi po yan basta-basta lamang nilagyan ng star, nilagyan ng sun, at nilagyan ng triangle. Meron pong mga sukat po yan. So there's a following proportions. So the width of the flag is 1 and the length of the flag is 2 and the size of the triangle is 1. So white triangle is 1. So meron po tayong tinatawag na 1:2 ratio na ginagawa po natin sa ating Philippine flag. Okay? Lalo na doon sa measurement ng flag po natin. Okay? So on the technical specification of the Philippine flag, so we have the cable numbers that corresponds to every color. So color blue, so we have cable number 8173, cable number 80001 for the white color, and for the red color naman, cable number 8108, and the golden yellow cable number 80068. So this is in accordance with the color standards of United States, of the America. Now, what's the importance why those Philippine flags has its cable number that corresponds to the technical specification, especially on the color? Plus, tatandaan natin that hindi natin kayang i-distinguish without the cable number, the color. 'Di ba? Kasi minsan yung cable number 1, for example lang 80173 at 80174 ay halos sa mata ng tao halos parehas lang po sila. Okay? Makikita natin that those red colors are in the eyes of the person, it is red, but in the cable number they are different po, lalo na sa mga numbers that corresponds to that particular color. Kaya it is very important na malaman natin yung bawat cable number po na yan. Okay? Now, sorry. On the order of the Philippine flag naman po tayo. In order to establish a uniform criteria, no, para magkaroon po ng uniform criteria sa Philippine flag po natin, dapat lahat ng requisitioning agencies na kukuha ng Philippine flag ay dapat makapag-request po sila. At the same time, the quality of the material ng ating mga supplier ay dapat po dumaan sa masusing proseso po, no? Yun po yung ano natin. Ano yung example po nun? For example, on the requisitions for the purchase of the national flag must based on the strict compliance with the design, color, craftsmanship, and material requirement. That's why we have technical specification of our flag to have its uniform criteria. Kasi baka mamaya, itong si supplier na to, iba ang kulay na ginagamit niya, iba ang tela na ginagamit niya. Kaya, there is a different supplier but there is a uniform criteria lamang doon sa design ng ating Philippine flag. Not just on the design but also on the color, the craftsmanship, and also the material requirement. So, how the institute monitor the tawag dito, yung pag-comply ng ating mga supplier. So, annually, pag ikaw ay dati nang supplier. So annually, magsisend ka ng 1 meter for each color. 1 meter for each color nung lahat ng color na involved sa paggawa ng Philippine flag natin. But it is also part na po doon yung craftsmanship and also the materials na kinakailangan po natin doon sa paggawa ng flag. Saan natin siya ipapasa? Doon po tayo magpapasa sa Philippine Textile Research Institute or the PTRI o yung dating Industrial Technology Development Institute na parte po ng Department of Science and DOST or Department of Science and Technology or DOST. So ano nga ba ang ginagawa ng ating PTRI ITDI? So they evaluate the quality and the serviceability of the said textile materials. Okay? So bago ka magkaroon ng permit, maging supplier ng tawag dito ng Philippine flag natin, dapat dumaan ka muna sa DOST, particularly on one of the agency ng DOST is the PTRI ITDI para ma-evaluate the quality and the serviceability of the textile material. So nandiyan po dapat padala ka ng mga textile material doon na 1 meter for the each color. Kasama na po dyan syempre yung textile material. Next naman is the pagkatapos po doon, so naipasa mo na yung iyong 1 meter requirement sa lahat ng kulay. Ang gagawin naman ngayon ng PTRI, ITDI is magkakaroon siya ng laboratory examination. Okay? Magkakaroon ng laboratory examination if those colors, textile materials, and craftsmanship is observed or complied with the standard set forth by the Republic Act 8491 with its own with on the specification, technical specification of the flag. So mag-a-apply ka ngayon ng annual accreditation mo sa institute. So ano nga ba ang gagawin? Ano ba ang dadalhin mong mga dokumento? So submit mo lang yung PTR-ITDI laboratory test results na ikaw ay napatunay yon na those textile materials ay pasok doon sa technical specification ng flag natin. The copy of the business license and permit and also the company profile. At kasama po dyan lahat ng documents na kailangan sa pag-apply ng annual accreditation. Sunod na gagawin, all of the samples submitted ay ipupunta po natin ng purchase by the government's use shall be evaluated as to the design. So, kinakailangan po i-submit po agad natin yan sa HDS or yung tinatawag natin na Heraldry and Display section. Okay? So, makikita nila after the pag-evaluate ng laboratory test results, makikita ng HDS na ikaw ay nag-comply doon sa technical specification. Once na okay, pumayag at ikaw ay nag-comply, maglalagay po sila ng approval. Once na hindi ka nag-comply, maglalagay po yan ng disapproval. So, meaning to say, pag ikaw ay disapprove, babalik sa'yo yan. Hanap ka ulit ng ibang textile material na pasok sa specification ng flag natin. Pag yan naman ay approve, ipapasa na po yan doon sa mga requisitioning agents, requisitioning offices na magkakandak na po sila ng um, pag-purchase. But the purchase of the Philippine flag shall not be the requisitioning office to the supplier. Hindi po. Hindi po yun ang magiging sistema. Kumbaga, si supplier, mag-i-stock lamang po siya kay NHI. Si requisitioning office po, siya po ang pupunta kay NHI para makakuha ng flag. Kumbaga, ang may contact lamang is si supplier at si NHI. At si requisitioning office at si NHI lamang. So, wala pong requisitioning office and supplier relationship po doon. Kasi lahat po ng approved textile material, approved design ng Philippine flag po natin ay doon lamang po kay NHI or yung tinatawag natin na National Historical Institute, particularly Heraldry and Display Section. So doon lamang po ilalagay yung mga approved na canvas po ng national flag po natin. Now, all deliveries of the national flag shall be inspected by the requisitioning office, internal inspector, and the commission on audit. Using the national flag stamp approved by the institute as reference, the internal inspector of the requisitioning office and the COA, in case of confusion, may send another sample of the national flag picked and random from the delivery flags for re-evaluation by the institute. So, syempre, iti-check pa rin po yan ng COA if that particular flag is sumunod po talaga siya sa technical specification ng ating flag. Okay? So yun po yung ginagawa para makapag-request po tayo ng Philippine flag. So in case of effective information dissemination, all accredited manufacturers are required to inform all flag consumers of the provisions of these rules. So binibigyan ng responsibilidad ng batas na ito na yung mga accredited manufacturer ng Philippine flag ay magkaroon ng information dissemination doon sa mga flag consumers. Okay? So yun po yung section 36. And also, all government entities shall ensure that the requirements under RA 8491 and these rules with respect to the standard requisition and deliveries of the national flag are strictly complied with. Hindi po pwedeng there will be an exemption kasi ganito, kasi ganyan. Hindi po pwede. Dapat lahat ng government entities ay ma-ensure yung standard requisition and deliveries ng national flag natin. At isa sa tatandaan po natin under Section 38, all departments, agencies, offices, and instrumentalities of the government, government-owned or controlled corporations, local government units, including barangays, shall include in their annual budgets the necessary outlay for the purchase of the national flag. So there will be an annual budget for the necessary outlay of the purchase of the national flag. So dapat included siya annually sa budget ng bawat agency in the government. Okay? Next, so what are the prohibited acts under 8491? No? So we have these prohibited acts. Una, to mutilate, deface, defile, trample on, or cast contempt or any omission casting dishonor or ridicule upon the flag over its surface. Ang ginawa mo, ayaw mo, hindi siya aesthetic, kasi sabi mo, straight lang, ginlagyan mo ng mga kurba-kurba, nilidrawingan mo ng mukha mo. Ayan, so bawal po yun. Dip the flag in any person or object by the way of compliment or salute. Hinangaan mong isang tao tapos ginawa mong garland or ginawa mong sash yung Philippine flag, hindi rin po pwede. Okay? To use the flag as a drapery, feston, or tablecloth, yung ginawa mong banderitas, yung Philippine flag, ginawa mong mantel, pantakip ng lamesa mo, yung Philippine flag, hindi po pwede. Ginawa mo siyang pantakip sa ceilings ninyo, ginawa mo siyang pader, ayan, bawal din po yun. At syempre, nilagay mo sa pennant in the hood, side, back, or top of the motor. Ginawa mo pang cover ng motor vehicle, bawal din po yan. Ginawa mo siyang pamalo as a staff or whip, hindi rin po pwede. Syempre, for unveiling monuments or statues. For example, ikaw, Juan de la Cruz, naging katanyag-tanyag ang pangalan mo at meron ka nagawa na mabuti sa bansang Pilipinas. Dahil ikaw ay ganon, naglagay ng estatwa mo sa tapat mismo ng bahay niyo. Tapos ang ginawa, for unveiling your statue, Philippine flag. Hindi po pwede yun. Okay? As a trademarks or for industrial, commercial, agricultural labels or design. So, bawal pong gamitin ang Philippine flag as a part of trademark. Okay? So, siyempre, sa DTI pa lang, bagsak na po agad yun pag ginamit as trademark. Okay? Next. Display of the flag under any painting or picture. Alam mo, may picture dyan ng lolo mo, nilagyan mo ng Philippine flag, bawal po yun. Okay? Horizontally face up, it shall display hoisted aloft and shall not and be allowed to fall freely. Okay? So yan po, dapat po pag naka-horizontal siya, naka-hoisted aloft po. Okay? Below any platform or in discotheques, cockpits, nights and day clubs, casinos, gambling joints, and places of vice or where frivolity prevails. Sabungan, mga night and day clubs, wala po dapat flag dyan. Mapapansin nyo naman yan. So yung nakapunta ng night club dito, wala po talagang Philippine flag po dun. But sa sabungan, nagpe-play po yan ng national anthem. Okay? Ganun po sila yung mga sabungero natin ay ganun ka makabayan. But in the casino, gambling joints, and yung places of frivolity, ito ay bahay aliwan, bawal din po ang pag-display ng flag. Okay? To wear the flag in whole as in part or a costume or uniform, bawal po maging parte ng uniform po natin ang Philippine flag. Pero it is exemption to the military service kasi meron pong naka-attach sa kanila. Dapat as a sign of identity that they are part of the Philippine uniform personnel, so naglagay po sila ng Philippine flag. But sa ibang ahensya po, hindi po pwede na maging part po yung ating Philippine flag as a part of a uniform. Okay? Okay? And to add any word, figure, mark, picture, design, drawings, advertisement, or imprint of any nature on the flag. So kasama po dyan yung paglalagay po ng mga any words, figures na ilalagay natin dun sa Philippine flag natin. Picture mo, picture ng girlfriend mo. Dahil gusto mo nakikita siya habang lumilipad yung Philippine flag, hindi po pwede yun. Okay? Ayan po. And on the chapter 2 naman, the national anthem. So the national anthem is entitled Lupang Hinirang, hindi po Bayang Magiliw. Okay? Always remember that the title of the national anthem of the Philippines is Lupang Hinirang. Okay? And it is composed by Julian Felipe. So this is the lyrics. So siyempre ayoko nang kantahin. Okay? So this will be the lyrics under section 36 of Republic Act 8491, chapter 2. So this is the lyrics. So ito po yung lyrics ng national anthem po natin. Bawal po yan palitan. Yung tono, yung lyrics, yung areglo ay hindi po pwedeng palitan. So this will be the case, if I'm not mistaken, this will be the case of Martin Rivera during the singing of national anthem in the time that Senator Manny Pacquiao ay nakipaglaban sa boxing. Parang yun, I heard the issue of that. So, I don't know kung paano nangyari sa kaso. Basta alam ko, sa pagkakaalam ko, nakasuhan siya dahil nabago yung areglo daw. Okay? So, bawal po yun. So, dapat ano pa rin yung arrangement dun sa areglo ni Julian Felipe na naka-march siya. Naka-march type. Okay? So, ayan po. So, in the conduct of um, tawag dito, Philippine National Anthem, it shall be played at a public gathering, whether by a band or by singing or both. So, pwede siyang by band, kakantahin lang mismo through a cappella. And syempre, the attending public shall sing the anthem. Okay, so dapat lahat ng Pilipino alam yan. So, syempre, grade 1 pa naman tayo, naturuan na tayo yan eh. I'm, I'm pretty sure grade 1 pa lang tinuturo na ang national anthem. Kahit nga kinder siguro eh. Okay? So lahat po kung wala ko lahat po ng nandoon sa flag ceremony ay dapat po pumunta or humarap shall be face the national flag. If there will be no flag na present doon sa area na pagkakandakan ng flag ceremony, doon po tayo sa banda kung saan tumutugtog. If wala naman pong banda, a cappella lang, doon na lang sa conductor. Yung nagkakonduct nung pagtotono. Okay? At the first note, all persons shall execute a salute by placing their right palms over the left chest. Siyempre, kung ikaw ay military, scouting, citizens military training, security guards in uniform, shall give the way of salute. Okay? Pag civilian, siyempre dito lang sa dibdib. Pag ikaw ay uniform personnel, saludo po yun. Okay? At syempre, the salute shall be completed upon the last note of the anthem. Okay, so yun po yung regulation natin during the conduct of national anthem. So bawal pong i-play ang ating national anthem as a mere recreation, amusement, or entertainment tulad ng New Year. Okay? Kinanta mo yung lupang hinirang. Habang nagbibidyo okay kayo, lasing na lasing ka, kinanta mo lupang hinirang. Bawal po yun. Pwede po kayong hulihin. But there are exemptions kung kailan po pinapatugtog ang ating national anthem. During international competition where the Philippines is the host or has a representative, dapat ipatugtog po yun. Local composition. During signing off or signing on of a radio and television station. So, mapapansin nyo yan pag matatapos na yung araw nung radyo at nung TV, mayroon po yan. Patatapatugtog or magsisimula pa lang, meron po yan. At syempre, before the initial and last screening of films or before the opening of theater performances, meron din pong national anthem. So, kailan ba yung initial screening? Yung unang araw, for example, yung and the breadwinner is, kung halimbawa, gano'n, yung mga MMFF po natin, di ba? Unang araw, December 25 po, unang pinalabas po yun. So, ibig sabihin, kung ang starting ng mall show noon ay 10 a.m., so dun sa 10 a.m. po na yun na schedule, meron pong lupang hinirang noon. And kung kailan po matatapos, for example, January next week, sabihin natin January next week, matatapos na yung MMFF Festival, yung mga palabas po doon. Doon sa pinaka-last show, pinaka-last screening nung film na yon, tutugtog ulit po ang lupang hinirang. So sana ano niyo siya, makita or ma-observe niyo siya. Okay? And other occasion as may be allowed by the institute. Okay? So yun po. So what is the national motto of the Philippines? So makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan at makabansa. Those are the national motto. So ito yon, makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan at makabansa. Okay? So those are the national mottos of the Philippines. So next is the national coat of arms. So ito yung itsura niyan. So the national coat of arms shall have pales of 2 pieces, azures and golds, a chief argent studded with 3 mulets equidistant from each other, and in point of honor, ovoid argent over all the sun rayonant with 8 minor lesser rays. Beneath shall be the scroll of the words Republika ng Pilipinas. So pag sinabing National Coat of Arms, ito po yun. Ito po nasa image natin, nasa bandang kanan po ninyo. Okay? Next naman po, the Great Seal or yung logo mismo ng presidente po natin. Kasi si president lamang po ang may hawak ng Great Seal. Okay? So the Great Seal shall be circular in form with the arms as described in the preceding section, but without the scroll, the encryption, and the encryption thereon. Surrounding the whole shall be a double marginal circle within which shall appear the words Republika ng Pilipinas and syempre yung ating national motto. So nilagay lamang po ang ano lang po para di kayo maguluhan, pabilog na po yung Great Seal. Nilagay lang sa dalawang bilog, nilagay lang sa inner circle yung National Coat of Arms pero wala na yung scroll. Ang ginawa, tinanggal yung scroll, inikot another circle, nilagyan ng Republika ng Pilipinas and then the National Coat of Arms. And syempre, the Great Shield shall bear the national motto. So ito lamang po, the Great Shield shall be circular in form with the arms as prescribed the preceding section but without the scroll and the umulit lang pala ito. Okay? So the Great Shield shall be affixed to or placed upon all commissions signed by the President and upon such other official documents and papers of the Republic of the Philippines as may be provided by law, as may be required by customs and usage. The President shall have the custody of the Great Seal. So wala pong ibang mangangalaga ng Great Seal po natin is the President. Kasi pag ang Great Seal natin ay nailabas kahit kanino, so lahat ng dokumento malagyan ng Great Seal, ang ibig sabihin po nun ay galing po sa Presidente. So ayan po ang itsura ng Great Seal. Okay? So, official seals and other heraldic items and devices naman po tayo. Any branch of the government, whether national or local, government-owned or controlled corporations, state colleges, and universities, including the military, may adopt appropriate coat of arms, seal, logo, insignia, badge, patches, banners, and initiate awards, trophies, citations, order, or declaration as may be authorized by the office of the President or by the Congress. So lahat po na nabanggit dyan, na government-owned, local, national or local government-owned and controlled corporations, state colleges and universities, including military, pwede pong gumawa ng heraldic items and devices. Kasama na po dyan. Siyempre, yung logo ngayon ng Bagong Pilipinas. Okay? So, di ba? Meron po yun sa logo ng Office of the President's President's tuloy. Office of the President, meron po yung logo na Bagong Pilipinas. Okay? So, kasama po yan as part of the heraldic items and devices na po yan ng Pilipinas. Okay? So, these heraldic device and items shall be filed with the institute for recording and evaluation as to precedence, design, customs, and tradition. So, dapat yung logo, yung seal, yung coat of arms na, insignia na yan, dapat nakabase siya sa tradition pa rin po ng Pilipinas. The application for the approval of design and specification of the proposed heraldic items and devices shall be supported with the following documents. Una, yung order or any form of grants, laws of authorities or creation. Dapat alam mo kung anong batas, ano ang parang legal basis po niya, bakit kailangan gawan. Brief historical background, symbolism, and significance of every design component. Dapat yung design po niya dapat merong historical background, may symbolism at may significance. Hindi ka pwedeng maglagay ng kung ano-ano lang. And photographs of existing structures, objects, spots, etc. to be incorporated in the design. Dapat maglagay ka rin dyan ng mga counting photographs. Pero hindi naman photograph ng tao mismo ha. Hindi naman po. Walang identity po yun. Parang ano lang siya. Parang identical siya. The institute shall recommend such heraldic design together with the needed documents to the office of the President or Congress for the final approval. The approved design shall be returned to the institute for proper recording in the National Registry of Heraldic Items and Devices and for transmittal for the requesting government entity. So after mo maibigay yung mga requirements na kailangan, pasa mo kay NHI, si NHI naman ipapasa kay President or the Congress for its final approval. Pag na-approve, ibabalik ulit sa NHI or doon sa mismong National Registry of Heraldic Items and Devices for the proper recording and also for the proper transmittal. Okay? So yun po yung pamaraan kung paano magkaroon ng another heraldic items. To conform to the basic heraldic traditions, the following shall be observed in the design, creation, modification, revision, and approval of the heraldic items. Dapat, it features either abstract or natural emblems or visual. So, dapat meron pong abstract or natural emblem yung bawat design po nun. Representing significant aspects or events, representative or related to its history, mandates, duties, functions, and vision. Tingnan nyo yung logo ng City of Bacoor. Yan. City of Bacoor. Tingnan nyo, di ba? Sa City of Bacoor, alam naman natin that there is an historical background doon sa tulay ng Sapote. Di ba? That's why, in the logo of the City of Bacoor, nakita natin na nandoon sa logo niya yung tulay ng Sapote. Ibig sabihin, kasama po doon sa history ng Bacoor yung tulay ng Sapote. Okay? So, components of heraldic designs must feature indigenous Filipino culture, values, history, traditions, and the sense of nationalism. Every component must be recognizable as it is rendered or reduced to its normal required sizes. Okay? So, dapat lahat ng ilalagay po natin doon ay dapat identical po siya, nare-recognize po siya kasi syempre hindi naman siya ganun kalaki na eh. Once the logo ay yung paggawa natin ng logo, dapat lahat po doon ay identical or recognizable po siya kasi hindi na po siya ganun kalaki pag nakita po natin. Okay? No personal heraldic devices shall be allowed. Okay? Except to the seal of the President and the Vice President. Yan, pwede po yun. Okay? So, if I'm not mistaken, class, no? If I'm not mistaken, the yung bagong Pilipinas na logo, it is a personal heraldic device, no? I am mistake. I am ano lang, not sure, no? I am not sure lang if that is part of a personal heraldic item, heraldic device siya na under the office of the president, no? Hindi lang ako sigurado. But I will be research on that kung ano ang pinagmulan ng bagong Pilipinas na logo. Okay? Kasi they are exempted. Kasi sabi diyan, no personal heraldic devices dapat talaga are allowed. But in the case of the president, the seal of the president, the vice president, pwede po sila. So maybe, no? Hindi lang ako sigurado, no? Hindi lang ako sigurado. Baka kasama doon yung logo ng bagong Pilipinas. Or kung hindi man kasama, that is part of the heraldic devices na mismo ng Pilipinas. So I will be research on that one. Medyo naguluhan lang din ako. Okay? Symbols, names, initial logos, pictures, silhouettes of the images of the living person ay bawal po. Okay? Shall not be featured in the design. Bawal po yung mga buhay. So sabi naman ng batas, images of living person. So baka pwede yung patay. Diba? So yun sabi ng batas eh. Okay? The name of the government entity or title of heraldic items and devices must be in a prominent position. Dapat makikita po yung mismo yung pangalan ng government entity or title. The heraldic items and devices including ribbons and sashes must be unique from each other. Sabat hindi siya na magkakapare-pareho. Okay? Sabi dyan, the national coat of arms which may or may not include the scroll when used as the main part of the component of the seal. So this will be this is ano? This is in dugtong po ito ng Great Seal, no? It shall be used only by the major branches of the government. So yung ating coat of arms ay major branches of the government lamang po 'yon. Magagamit. So ano ba yung major branches? Siyempre, yung yung three branches of the government po natin. The legislative, executive, and then the judiciary. So, in using the National Coat of Arms and the Great Seal for numismatic purposes, wet or dry seals unpainted or printed in monochrome teinture representation shall be used. The use of the national flag is prohibited except where the flag has become part of the history. Okay? The motto, title, and or phrase to be incorporated in the heraldic items and devices must be in the national language or in any local dialect. So, bawal po ang English. Okay, national language lamang po natin or mga local dialects. The heraldic items and devices shall not be revised or changed more than once every 10 years. So, yung bagong Pilipinas. No, sabi natin, naging heraldic device siya. Bawal po siyang palitan or i-revise sa loob ng 10 taon. Antayin po natin na lumipas ang 10 taon. Okay? All government entities, including military, are hereby ordered to purchase all heraldic items and devices from manufacturers accredited and authorized lamang ng institute. Hindi po pwede na mag-order ka kahit saan. Okay? Engravers, manufacturers shall apply for annual accreditation also. Hindi lamang yung mga tagagawa ng flag yung mag-a-apply ng annual accreditation, kundi kasama din po yung gumagawa ng heraldic items po natin. No government official or employee shall accept any orders or decoration from any foreign government without the consent of the Congress. So, bawal po yung mga government officials and employees na tumanggap po ng any orders or decoration from the foreign government without the consent of the Congress and without the prior evaluation and documentation. Bawal po yun. Heraldic and vexillary designs or items, including the national motto, national anthem, and the pledge of allegiance to the national flag shall not be used or employed for numismatic, philatelic, advertisement, or other informative purposes unless duly approved in writing by the Institute through its heraldry and display section. So, bawal po natin gamit-gamitin kahit saan, no? As long as it is not approved by the Institute, yung paggamit po natin ng national motto, national anthem, and pledge of allegiance to the national flag. Hindi po siya pwede basta-basta gamitin kahit saan. Okay? So the penalties for the failure or refusal to observe the RA 8491 or any violation of this rule shall, after the proper notice and hearing, be penalized and stipulated under Republic Act 8491. So, okay? So, that ends our discussion for the CFLM1. So, I hope that you gain enough knowledge regarding the CFLM1. So, that's all. Thank you and enjoy.